Hello and welcome back. Things are sure getting really interesting this month for eVehicles and for eVehicles development. The developers have decided to, hint us at something with the newest post on Facebook that they did. It is a picture with a binary code in it, and you will see that binary code in a moment. And I did some translations for that binary code, and I'll give some of my thoughts on it, and of course speculation about what it actually could mean. So the true meaning of it is hidden. We don't know what they meant to say with that code. There is a lot of speculation. Might be the release date, might be an open beta, might be a new class of ships, might be Triglavians, might be even another open beta test in the near future, and could also be a heads up for us players that the game might be playable in the really near future. Well, all that will be I'll pretty much talk about that one by one, and of course you'll see the translations of the binary code on screen as time progresses. So definitely really interesting way that they have decided to keep us updated on things. And there have been even speculation about a possible hidden date within the code. There are two rows of binary code. One you can see clearly, while the other one is kinda hidden. I translated both the hidden one and the one that's obviously visible. So within that picture there might be some hidden elements that we still haven't discovered. Maybe the way the code was displayed also could be meaning something, we don't know. But we will speculate about it and we can talk about it. So in a short moment you will see the picture on screen on the upper left corner, and there we go. That's the code. So as you can see, we have the first line of code that's pretty much visible, and the other one that's kind of blurry in the background, and all of those have meanings. Very interesting way to put this. Like I said, as you can see, it is kind of put in a way to hint at something. They're not in the same, they're not written in the same line as you can see here, and that could also hint something. Could be a date, like I said, could be, but what people speculate most at this point is that this might very well be a date on something, like potentially the release date, or potentially could be another testing date. Both are plausible, both may happen, we don't know. And you also see the background code, which is kind of more blurry, kind of more transparent, and that code also has a really more hidden meaning. While the first, the binary code that you pretty much see clearly, has a clear translation, and of course you will see that translation in a short moment here. The other code that is in the background kind of has a really more cryptic message, in a way that it hints at EVE Online, or at least at something related to EVE, but it is not written in a way that you can clearly read it. Like you will see what I mean when the picture pops in. But the code that's kind of in the background, I think personally, is more interesting than the code that you can see clearly, since I think the true message might be somewhere in between. Might be a combination of the codes. And by the way, let me just say this immediately. I did try to put the codes in reverse. Not a big success. There was a weird word, and that weird word had the number 6. So we can speculate it being the 6th month of the year. According to that, maybe the things are cryptic, maybe they are meant to be maybe they're meant to be read from the right to left. Could also be the case. I I personally think it might be 6th of this month for something to happen. Might be the 7th of month something to happen. We are free to speculate, and that's the one thing that I wanted to pretty much put out there immediately. I did pretty much tamper with like I tried all different combinations, even from the right to left, and like from the right to left, when you pretty much put the code that way in a translator, you pretty much get some random letters and the number 6. So something maybe has to do with the number 6. Could be 6th of this month, could be well, it's not April 6th definitely, so June of 2020 might be a really interesting date for Eve Echoes. Again, we are clear to speculate about it, and of course I'll be showing you also the code from the reverse here in a moment, or maybe it was already on the screen. So the developers are playing games with us, and again, I think it is a good way to keep the hype up. But so that's pretty much one of the what I think might be really important. And also, when you pretty much put the binary code in reverse on the translator, the number 6 is pretty much kind of how do I say this, separate. It is kind of separated from the random letters, and again might be hinting at 6th of 6th something. My honest guess would be 6th of this month, since I don't see anything else related to that number. I could be wrong, I guess time will tell. And here in a moment you will see the translation of the first visible on all the first lines, pretty much the binary code that we can read clearly. And it is a really interesting message, again kind of hinting at something, and it says travelers who return. Well, who are those travelers and where are they returning? Well, the first and pretty much the most obvious guess would be that they meant players by travelers, and travelers who return, as you can see here on the screen. What I personally guess is they mean players by travelers, and they return, well, we return to the game, because we were separated from the game during the open beta when it ended, and now we're returning to the game after, I guess, waiting, and they maybe put waiting to, well, traveling, I guess. So probably hinting at maybe a release date. Again, might be an open beta, might be release, we don't know. And the other translation of that might be, like I said, another race that might be introduced. Clearly the only race that everyone pretty much has in mind at this point are the, Triglavians. They might be hinting on Triglavian ships that will be released in the game. And again, that's actually, if you ask me, that's actually more possible and more likely than the open beta or than the full release of the game. So this is pretty much what I personally think about what they meant to say by that. Again, could be something totally different, but at this very moment I kinda don't see anything else besides that. If you have your own ideas, again, feel free to say in the comments. I'll be sure to check them out. And well, this is pretty much the first row that's obvious, that you can clearly see. And now the hidden binary code, or the background binary code. Well, I'll be showing that binary code in a moment, just to clarify on what I am talking about. So that one is, in my opinion, that one is more interesting, because its translation is a bit more cryptic. And by more cryptic, I pretty much mean It is kind of put in a way that you can read it, but not quite fully translated in English, because it's pretty much some random letters and random symbols. And again, here you can see pretty much, if you look carefully at the screen, you can see the background code. It is kind of blurry, it is kind of transparent behind the frost line, and pretty much the one in the background is pretty much also everywhere. It has actually more lines than the one that you can see clearly, which is really interesting. Interesting way for the developers to put it that way, that we need to, you know, explore it. And again, I personally think like the way it is actually put, like the overall way they wrote it on the picture has something to do with the meaning, because it has a pattern. When I see pattern, I see intent. Again, could be totally coincidental. Also could be the case, but it's, you know, it's Eve we're talking about, and I think it's not coincidental. I don't know what it could mean. We can speculate. Like I said, my personal opinion might be that they're hinting at a date. That might be the 6th of this month or 7th of this month. Could be also a couple days until something, is also a possibility. We will see. We don't know. And at this point, I don't know what else it could be. Like I said, those are just my opinions on how I pretty much see it. And if you have your own opinions, feel free to share them in the comments. I'm really interested to see what other people think about this. And also, I did check the picture for any background anomalies and any background, you know, messages, and nothing is there. So pretty much the message is on that picture, in that code, and we just need to crack it. Or maybe the point of that message is to keep the hype up, and I guess only time will tell. Definitely binary codes can tingle people's imagination. Definitely that might be the case. And again, like I said, it's Eve we're talking about, and I think nothing is pretty much coincidental here. Everything what happens here is with a purpose. Well, and I got kinda carried away. Well, here is the translation of the background binary code. Really weird. And you can pretty much see the picture saying EVE Online, and that NM, I don't know what that could mean, honestly. The 2 and the degree mark, and oh, okay, I see what that means. Sneaky developers. Like, really, like, it is clear that it says EVE Online there, and it is the saluting emoji in the end. That's what the 7 probably there for. And that's what it did for pretty much this message. Again, it is pretty much hinting at EVE Online. Or again, could be a date or some sort hidden somehow there. I pretty much leave that to you to decide, or again, I'm looking for your own opinions on this. But this is truly I guess a good way to make people interested in the game. Like, certainly this is a better strategy than the ad spamming that Second Galaxy did back at, I think it was I think it was like literally last year, around July or June or August, when Second Galaxy pretty much spammed Facebook with ads, and it made people hyped up real bad, right? And that game turned out to be 90% ads, 10% of actual like content, and Second Galaxy turned to a pile of you know what. So this is, I think, a better way to interest the player base for the game itself, since it's been, let's see, 5 months, 6 months almost since the open beta ended. I don't know. That's a long period of time, and could be like, it's like I said. Now we can also speculate about the possibility of another open beta. It can very well be another open beta in the vicinity. And also something that I did, I put the entirety of the binary code in the translator to see what we will get, and this is pretty much the code that we got. Travelers who return, and we see in EVE Online. Okay, well, when I put the entire code together, we definitely see something really interesting, since, you know, it would appear like they're saying players who will return in EVE Online, or in EVE Echoes in this case, since I guess that's what they meant to say there. So, is this like a hint on another like open beta, or actually on the full release? Since, you know, that's the return, and that high on the end isn't coincidental. It would be like too conveniently placed to be coincidental. Like, come on. And you can see that if you put the background text alone, you also get that I on the start. So, and the brain doesn't pick up the N and I, it picks up in. So, some really interesting brain games they're playing with us, definitely. And well, there we go. That's pretty much everything that I wanted to say about this little game that the developers are playing with us. I am looking forward for your opinions on this and your translation on this. Again, if you find something regarding this that I missed, or if there is any new, if there is actually something new to it, something that I missed, feel free to tell me that in the comments below. I'm looking really forward for that. And well, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this. I definitely had like fun to translate stuff. And with that being said, well, I will see you in the next one. Take care.